We're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
Breaking news has emerged in the ongoing investigation into Nolan Wells' death. Newly released audio from a tow assistance call made by Nolan's friends at approximately 3 p.m. on July 4, first reported by NBC News, is providing additional insight into the timeline. An extended version of the call has now been made public, revealing more details about the group's location at the time. According to the newly released audio, along with accompanying GPS data and mapping graphics, Nolan's friends were positioned on the western tip of Horn Island when the tow call was placed. The newly available evidence is expected to play an important role as investigators continue examining the events leading up to Nolan Wells' disappearance and death.
The west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
Now, as you know, we've been closely following the Nolan Wells case, and a new detail has started to stand out. The newly released tow call audio and GPS data appear to place Nolan's friends in the same general area where his body was found 2 days later. According to local outlet WLOX, at approximately 8:45 a.m. on Monday, Sheriff Ledbetter confirmed that authorities had received a report of a body being discovered at the northwestern tip of Horn Island. The body was found by a U.S. Park Service ranger. This information provides a clearer picture of the timeline. The friends have said that they last saw Nolan around 3 p.m., and at roughly that same time, a call was made requesting assistance because the boat was reportedly taking on water and needed a tow. GPS graphics released with the audio indicate that the boat was located near the northwestern tip of the island. At 4:31 p.m., the boat was eventually towed approximately 2.7 miles before returning to normal operation and heading back toward the mainland. Based on the available information, some observers believe the key events may have occurred between the 3 p.m. tow call and the time the boat was towed away at 4:31 p.m., especially given that Nolan's body was later found in the same area. Another detail from the audio has also drawn attention. During the call, the dispatcher asks the boat's operator whether everyone on board is in good health. The operator responds, yeah, everybody is on board. That exchange has become one of the many points investigators and the public are now examining as questions about the timeline continue to grow. This version removes repetitive wording, improves flow, and keeps the claims attributed to reports and observers rather than stating conclusions as fact.
Can y'all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on.
One of the biggest questions being raised is what happened after the tow call. If the group waited for assistance because their boat was taking on water, some observers wonder why there was reportedly no further contact with Nolan during that time, especially since they were all friends and the situation appeared to be urgent. The newly released GPS graphics also suggest the boat was not far from the shoreline, leading some to question whether Nolan could have been seen or reached before the boat departed. According to previously reported accounts, Nolan's phone remained on the boat, while friends claimed he chose to stay behind to speak with a girl he had recently met. On Wednesday, representatives for Nolan Wells' family met with the Mississippi District Attorney to receive an update on the investigation. Following the meeting, they said little new information was disclosed, but confirmed that the District Attorney plans to present evidence to a grand jury, which will help determine the next steps in the investigation into Nolan's death. Despite what the family described as a constructive meeting, public scrutiny of the case has continued. Former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore, who previously gained widespread attention for commenting on the investigation, returned to Facebook with a message urging the public not to place complete confidence in the process. Moore said his concerns were based on his own past experiences with District Attorney Angel McElrath. According to Moore, he believes she previously failed to secure an indictment in a case that, in his opinion, warranted one. Those remarks reflect Moore's personal views and have not been independently verified as evidence related to the Nolan Wells investigation.
Day 11, and there has still been no arrest. To me, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Because we know on day 1, had there been 3 young black men to return to the mainland from an island and 1 white young man left there who disappeared, who died under suspicious circumstances, we know within 1 day of beginning an investigation, with all the suspicious activity that we know that have occurred here, if it occurred in that situation, we know that there would have been arrest by now. So it's still unacceptable to me that no arrests at all have been made for any particular crime. And I've laid out a litany of potential crimes that members of law enforcement, if they were doing their jobs unbiasedly and thoroughly, could have made by now, but they refuse to do so. The family has been calling for transparency all this time, so I don't know why you would keep them in the dark last week that you were doing an investigation when somebody who knows how it's done calls you out on Sunday night, early one Monday morning, you decide to tell everybody that you're doing an investigation. So thank you, DA McElrath. We've been wondering what you have been up to the past few days. So now we know. because I don't play. School had recess. I do not play. I don't even play the radio. Those folks know me. They know me well. And if I say it, I mean it. And so I see today, not only did she had announced earlier this week that she was going to work with, or was working with the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, she met with the family and their counsel and gave them an update and told them that she will be presenting all of the evidence to a Jackson County grand jury. That is a step in the right direction. But is it a step in the right direction because we had to call her hand? Had she planned to do that all along? I had the unfortunate experience of meeting the DA, McGrath, back in 2019 when I was a partner with the Cochran firm. And Toussaint Diamond Sims was killed by a Morris Point Police Department officer on August the 8th, 2019. It was caught on video. There were several witnesses that said that young man had nothing in his hands when he was shot 5 times in the back by that Morris Point cop. 5 times in the back, nothing in his hands. DA McGrath presented all that evidence, overwhelming evidence, and she still could not secure an indictment of that officer in Jackson County. So before everybody goes and starts singing her praises, let's make sure she's not going to do another sham presentation to the grand jury. And we know that you can present things to various grand juries until you get an indictment. It's mighty funny that the regular saying is you can indict a ham sandwich. With all that evidence, after someone was killed in 2019, and I happened to represent the family at that time as a partner in the Cochran firm, and I met with her as well as the family, similar to what happened today, so I've been through that process with her. She will offer you sweet tea. She's a nice, good Southern belle, but can she get you justice? We're not going to sleep on you, Angel, excuse me. We're not going to sleep on you. This time, we expect you to present the evidence in a manner like you present it in other situations, that you can secure an indictment or indictments. I do know you don't have to be indicted for anything to be arrested. All of this evidence is out there now. It should have been presented to a judge by now. Some of it for probable cause to make some arrest. Some of it to get the search warrants. I am not about any dilatory tactics. You're not going to punt the ball and put it on the grand jury. Certain folks need to be arrested now if there's so much evidence. Evidently, there's enough evidence for the FBI to now be involved. Evidently, there's enough evidence now for the DA to announce that she's going to present things to the grand jury. There's nothing to present to a grand jury if there's an accidental drowning. An accidental drowning under no suspicious circumstances would not require a presentation to a grand jury, and the DA could make that call herself. So evidently, there's something not clean in the milk. There's something not clean in the milk, and they know it. But yet and still, because of privilege or whatever, there has been no arrest, and we are day 11 post July the 4th, when Nolan Wells was first reported missing. Now, I'm the people's judge, and I shoot it to you straight with no chaser. That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You think we're going to sing your praises because you put on a dog and pony show. You can say the right thing, you can be courteous, but the Mississippi I know, the Jackson County I know, they will smile in your face and serve you 2 glasses of sweet tea and still stab you in the back. I can talk about them because that's where I'm from.